Hey everyone, welcome to this episode of the Wildcat Way Show. I'm your host, McKinsy Hickman, and today I am joined by two incredible special guests. I have Ball and Meghan Merritt here with me today. They are both instructors here at PRCC, and they are both instructors of our Business and Marketing program, which is one of our CTE programs here. So that's going to be the topic of discussion today. But thank you guys so much for coming on the show, and welcome to the Wildcat Way Show.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much for having us.
I'm so excited to get into this conversation with you guys because it's especially special because it's February and that means it's CTE month. Right?
Yes. We've had a lot of fun planning out some events for CTE month. So all of February, pretty much, we're celebrating our student success. We have some really cool graduates that have gone through all of these CTE programs. They've done some really successful things. So we're sharing stuff like that. All on social media.
That's
so
awesome.
Lots of cool things.
Yeah, so basically anybody that's graduated from a CTE program here and maybe gone on through their career, y'all are highlighting those this month?
Yes, definitely. So a lot of people don't realize, so career technical education is anything that's hands-on. So if you came to Pearl River and you were here for a year to 2 years and you have that degree, it could be nursing, it could be allied health, it could be automotive. So there's lots of programs that encompass career and technical education. So it's a lot of people that I know that have gone through these doors through career and tech.
Absolutely, and been able to go on and be extremely successful in so many different careers. And speaking of that, you guys, what you teach is the Business and Marketing program, and I know that's very broad and very kind of it's a wide range of different things and careers that people could go into once they get through your program. So kind of tell us a little bit, maybe Maggie, kind of tell us a little bit about the program.
Absolutely. So our program, it really covers the creative as well as the strategic side of managing a business. So it's really exciting. Most of our students come in and they get really hands-on activities in the classroom. So the most exciting thing for our students is most of them come in with an idea of a business that they either have already or maybe they want to build upon this business. And when they go through their program, they can kind of build on this all the way from branding. So in one of my classes, they will actually brand a logo, create business cards, social graphics, all of these things for their business. And they'll take it all the way through the program to internet marketing, where they create a website for this business. So a lot of different activities that they can use to hopefully get them started in the workforce once they graduate.
Yeah, our goal is kind of to give them everything that they need in a toolkit to start a business or to operate someone else's business, which is pretty neat.
So if they want to be their own business owner, create something one day, that's the perfect program for them, really. Yeah. But then you could also go into something like sales, anything like that too, right?
Right. So we do have, so we call those people kind of concentrators. So let's say you go through the program and you fell in love with sales. You're like, I love this. I don't want to open a business. I just want to work in sales. That's totally fine. You can use this degree and go into a sales career. So we have lots of students that are real estate agents, people that work at car salesmen, lots of things.
We had a few years ago, Abby, she graduated from our program, and now she actually owns a wedding venue here in Poplarville, which is 3 Lakes Manor.
That's awesome.
We're so proud of her, and it's so awesome to see her success and just how much she's grown her business since she's graduated.
And that's awesome. And too, it being right here in Poplarville, that you're seeing the benefits from, people going through the programs and then out, creating their own businesses right here in this community too. So that's super awesome. Yeah. Well, I know that you both are instructors too. Normally programs usually have one instructor, maybe an assistant instructor. So what's the kind of difference in what you teach, Katie, and then what you teach, Maggie?
So we kind of teach some similar classes. A lot of the classes do require, we call it creative problem solving. So we're really working on helping our students solve problems, because that's kind of what marketing is. So I will say that I teach a lot of the principal classes in the program, and Maggie teaches more, I would say specifically the management. So how to manage people and HR management, principles of management, stuff like that.
And I think one thing that we're very similar on in our classroom, as well as all CTE programs, is a lot of students when they come to college, they think it's all going to be lecture based. But in a CTE program, that is far from the truth, because we'll normally start our courses with a lecture, so they understand the concept, but then we'll normally end the semester out with a project. So whatever we've lectured on, they will end and they'll do a hands-on learning project. So the internet design that they do. In your class, they actually get to write a business plan.
Yeah, we're doing those now.
Yes, and it's just really fun.
That's awesome. So, and that's what our CTE programs really are based on, is that hands-on experience. And I know you kind of touched on that earlier, of any program that you went through that had that hands-on experience. But even talking about more on the CTE side, the services and stuff that we offer just here on campus for our students, for faculty, and everything like that, from the many different arrays. Can y'all kind of hit on those things that we do too?
So we have a lot of CTE services, and one thing that I did not realize until I started working here was just how much our CTE services are beneficial to members of our community. So for instance, you can go to our cosmetology school as well as our barbering school. You can call them, you can make an appointment, and our students will actually do your services for you. So that's a really exciting thing that we have here on campus. I know I haven't been over there yet, which I want to go, but I know you've been several times.
I've been
Yes.
And had your hair done, and I need to go.
Yes. And it is so beneficial. Like, that's something that the community needs, maybe a lower cost for services, but also to give those students the experience of having someone sit in the salon chair, or like even automotive, they can work on cars in the community.
Absolutely.
So being able to have that hands-on real world experience with, you're not just cutting a mannequin's hair, you have a real person in your chair and they're talking to you, you got to learn how to communicate with them. So I think it's really cool, you know, both sides of the coin, you're helping the community, but also you have some student support there where they're getting that experience.
That's right, because there's really no comparison to that hands-on experience.
Yes.
You can teach it and lecture it and take a test on it, but until you sometimes actually do it with your hands and really have that visual too, and it being a real person, like you said, instead of a mannequin, is a lot different. And I think that's, you know, to me, I've always thought about that with even a doctor or a surgeon. Like, it's got to be different when you're actually really working on somebody.
Yes.
So that's what I think is so cool about CTE. But talking too about that hands-on experience, but also showcasing that to potential students that want to come here. I know that we've started something new this year with our interactive tours, and we've got one coming up. So Katie, will you kind of talk about that?
Yeah, so this interactive program tour was something that we kind of just thought of. We had a lot of feedback from people who would come in and they would say, man, I really want to know what it's like to be a student in this program. So we kind of took a little piece of that and implemented this day full of like lesson plans. So we do have one coming up. The registration is closed, but it was for our early childhood education. And it's going to be February the 9th, so this Thursday. So we have that coming up where we invited all of the high schools in our district that have the early childhood program. So they're going to come in, they're going to get to meet our Pearl River instructors that have that are over the program, and then they're going to get to do some lesson plans. So they're going to get to see what it's like to be a preschool or an early childhood educator, and they're going to get to walk away with like 6 new lesson plans when hopefully one day they become educators. And of course we'll talk about how to, you know, become a Wildcat, and so it's going to be a recruitment opportunity, but also a little taste of what the program would actually be like.
Right, and that's something that you're hoping to maybe do for other programs.
Absolutely,
too.
yeah. So we're going to start with early childhood, so they're kind of like our pilot, and we're going to see how this goes and then make adjustments. But so far, it's going to be really great. We have over 100 people register for this one event. So that's 100 people that are going to be coming to campus that could be potential Wildcats in that program. So it's really cool to see that.
Super exciting.
That's very exciting. And then talking about that, you know, we're getting students here that are maybe not Wildcats yet, but then we help them get here, get them put into a program that maybe they like or that they have an interest in, and then we also help them find jobs and stuff after they graduate from the program. So it's not just, hey, you're coming through the program and good luck. I hope you have a good time.
Best wishes.
But I know we've actually got a career fair coming up in March.
Yes,
so
we do. It's coming up Wednesday, March 22nd will be our career fair. And last year we had, I want to say, over 64 vendors, and this year we are projected to have more in a range of industries that will be there. So we're really excited about that. For students who are interested in coming, we tell them to make sure they bring copies of their resume and just get ready to network with employers, because they're here because they want students to jump in the workforce and go work for them. So last year we also, instructors went around and we got to do workshops with students here on campus where we just talked to students about, you know, creating a resume. Is your resume up to date? What about a cover letter? How to get career ready. So we're going to be doing a lot of that up until the career fair, especially here in our CTE programs and for our sophomores that are just getting ready to jump into the workforce.
Right, exactly. Well, that's super awesome to me. And, you know, I know that a lot of these programs, too, they start you off maybe in an internship like your last semester here. Do you guys work with any kind of businesses and do internships with your students?
Yes, we do. We've actually worked like very hands-on with Dolores Butler from Workforce Education. And so she has partnered with lots of businesses in our community, and there are so many people out there that are looking to hire, but also are willing to accept an intern, to say like, hey, we're okay to take an intern and help train them and guide them and let them use their knowledge. That's really cool that we have a lot of people in the community that do give back to us in that way.
Absolutely, and that can give them that work experience, and then they're also able to get some class credit for it too.
Yes.
So it kind of works hand in hand and does that too. But I know that CTE, we jumped from just 42 career and technical programs. I say just, that's a lot.
Yeah.
We have 42, which I know that number was up from like 37. But then just in the past year, we are now at 44, fixing to be at 47. And that's incredible to me. So, and I know that we've had some new programs added. So what are those new programs that we have?
Yeah, I know we have cybersecurity here. And I think they're in their first semester with those new students, which is really exciting. So cybersecurity, I did not realize how important that was. I mean, you think about it all the time. How many times do we use transactions or give our credit card information? Lots of things. So lots of areas need cybersecurity. So we have that program. Then we have hydrography, which is really cool. So it's like the mapping of the ocean floor, from what I think that's like the layman's terms that they told me. And I'm trying to think.
Aviation maintenance?
Yes, aviation maintenance.
Which would be like aircraft parts and repair on an engine of the aircraft, from what I understand. I think both aviation maintenance and hydrography are going to be on the Hancock campus.
Yes.
So it's exciting.
Yes, and that's exciting for the Hancock County too, with the new campus coming there. I know they've got like the hangar and all set to come in fall of 2023, so excited for those students. And then just ones that, you know, we've had maybe this past year, but are still kind of newer, like the court reporting and massage therapy.
Oh, yeah.
Things like that, which those are on the Forest County campus, right?
Right. Those are at Forest County. I know, too bad it's not here where we are.
We could utilize that massage therapy program.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I just saw, I think it was an email last week that went out that said that their students at massage therapy would be offering massages to everyone on the Forest County campus. I said, gosh, why do we have to be in Poplarville?
I know, I'm like, I'm going to take a day off and go to PRCC at the Forest County campus, get my teeth cleaned.
There you go.
Massage. So still be at work, but just getting that day off kind of feel. But that's super cool that we offer that too. And I know that that's one thing that CTE does too, is that whenever there's a need or a shortage in the state for jobs, that we provide those programs for them to be able to turn out more workers in that career field, and that's super exciting to see. But with those programs, I know that there's certain ways that students have to go about getting into these programs. We only have so many spots available, especially whenever you're welding. There's only so many welding stations that you have available, so not everybody can get in there, but there's deadlines, there's things to do. So what does that kind of look like for a student right now?
Yeah, so especially with deadlines, so if you are a senior now and you're looking at going into an allied health program, or even if you're a current Pearl River student and you're wishing to go into an allied health program, most of those begin in the fall, but registration or deadlines are coming up for those. So spring is usually like deadline city, like there are deadlines everywhere, like dental hygiene, I think off the top of my head is February 28th. So you have to have all of that paperwork and everything in order so that you could hopefully get into those programs. So what's really cool, our website is laid out very nicely. So if you go to the programs or whatever program or sorry, I screwed up. So if you go to whatever program that you're interested in, you will see deadlines on there. So there's going to be some hard deadlines that, like you said, we have so many seats available. So it's really important for us to make sure that we get the students in and everybody's registered and ready to go. So if you look up a program that doesn't have a deadline, so if you, for instance, we don't have an application deadline for business and marketing, our advice for those programs is you still want to make sure that you're registered. So you still want to fill out your application to become a Wildcat. You want to do that, and you want to make sure you're registered so that you either go through ROAR or you connect with an advisor who can make your schedule to guarantee a seat in those programs. So so my advice, check the deadlines for sure.
Check those deadlines.
Yes.
Exactly, because that's the only bad thing is once those deadlines pass, it's kind of hard to get anything done after that. So. But I know that you both are instructors and that you have, the classrooms and stuff like that. So I kind of want to talk about that side because I haven't had an instructor on the show yet. So really kind of talking about the classroom because you guys actually get to see the students that we have here on a daily basis. You're talking with them, influencing them, things like that. So Maggie, what kind of things do you have in your classroom? Maybe like, what do you think about each day as like a mission or a goal with your students?
Well, I think the best thing about teaching in career and technical education is that every day in the classroom, it can change in an instant. There is never a boring day in our classroom. But I think my mission that I go into each day is just go in each day, remain positive, and always have enthusiasm, especially with any student, because if you go in, if you're excited about the day, if you have passion for the subject that you're teaching, the students will mirror that, and they'll be just as excited. So that's kind of what we like to go into our classroom in. But every day, one day I could start with a lecture, and the same for your classes. We'll lecture for an hour, and then the next Wednesday I might say, okay, you know what, we have all this that we learned in lecture. Now let's do an activity, let's go to the lab, let's do some hands-on learning, and let's apply what you learned. So it's really so much fun. Every day is something new.
Oh yeah.
So we'll keep it fun.
Well, I'm so glad that you two joined me on the show today, not just to talk about, just CTE, but also to introduce yourselves and let everybody know who you are. And I know y'all do so much more than just sitting in the classroom and sitting up and lecturing. I know that y'all are changing students' lives and helping them get to where they want to get to. And then you're also promoting CTE in general to everybody. So thank y'all so much for everything that you do.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
Of course.
You.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone that's watching this today. I want to thank you for joining the Wildcat Way Show. Make sure to follow us on all social media platforms, on Facebook, on Instagram at the Wildcat Way Show. And thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.